Have you ever wondered why, despite all your discipline, your routines, your habits, your perfect schedules, you still feel trapped, powerless, and stagnant? You've been told discipline is the highest virtue, but Machiavelli will reveal to you the dark truth. Discipline, in its purest form, is the enemy of power. Today, we shall uncover why being disciplined may be the worst thing you can do, and what you must do instead if you wish to rule life rather than be ruled by it. You have been told your entire life that discipline is the secret to success. Wake up early, work tirelessly, repeat the same rituals day after day. They tell you that discipline is the highest virtue, that if you master it, you will master life. And yet, have you ever stopped to question, whose idea of discipline are you serving? Who benefits from your rigid routines? The truth, though uncomfortable, is this: discipline is not freedom. Discipline is a trap. A man enslaved to his own discipline is no different from a prisoner who polishes the bars of his cell. He may take pride in his order, in the neatness of his habits, in the perfection of his routine. But pride in chains is still slavery. The disciplined man believes he is strong, but his strength exists only within the narrow path he has drawn for himself. Remove him from that path, place him in chaos, and you will see him collapse, because discipline has made him predictable, fragile, and dependent. The rulers of society love discipline, but not for themselves. For you. Why? Because the disciplined worker will wake at dawn, follow his routine, and perform his duties without question. He will not rebel, because his habits bind him tighter than any law. He is reliable, he is consistent, he is useful. But he is not powerful. His life is managed not by his own cunning, but by the invisible chains of discipline that guide his every step. And what is more dangerous to ambition than predictability? When your enemies can predict you, they can outmaneuver you. When your competitors know your rhythm, they can strike you at the precise moment you are weakest. Consider the merchant who opens his shop every day at the same hour. His routine is discipline, his schedule flawless. But what does this mean? His rivals know when he works, when he rests, when he is most vulnerable. He is an open book, a machine repeating the same cycle. A thief, a competitor, an enemy, all can anticipate his every move. Discipline has made him efficient, yes, but efficiency without cunning is not power. It is servitude dressed in fine clothing. True power does not come from obedience to routines. It comes from the ability to bend and adapt, from the art of being unpredictable. Discipline seduces you with the promise of control, but it delivers the opposite. You believe you are the master of your habits, yet it is your habits that master you. And once you are mastered, you are no longer dangerous, no longer untamed, you are safe. And safe men do not rule the world, they serve it. Think of the disciplined soldier. He follows orders, trains without fail, marches when commanded, fights when told. He is the embodiment of discipline. But who wields the real power? Not the soldier, but the general. The one who knows when to break discipline, when to abandon the routine, when to do the unexpected. Discipline produces followers, not leaders. It creates loyal servants, not cunning rulers. Discipline is the virtue of those who cannot think beyond their chains, while flexibility is the weapon of those who seek to dominate. Do you not see how the illusion works? Discipline is praised because it keeps the masses in line. A disciplined population is predictable, manageable, easy to control. The man who always wakes at 6, who works his hours diligently, who never deviates, this man will never rise above his station. He will die as he lived, efficient, obedient, ordinary. Meanwhile, the one who learns to bend rules, to abandon habits when strategy demands it, to act outside the expected path, this man cannot be caged. He is feared, respected, and often hated, because he does not serve discipline. Discipline serves him. But there is a cruel irony here. The more disciplined you are, the more pride you take in your routines, the weaker you become in the eyes of those who understand power. For every routine is a map to your soul, every habit a window into your vulnerabilities. Your enemy need not be stronger than you. He need only observe you. Watch when you rise, when you rest, when you labor, when you pause, and then strike at the moment your discipline has left you exposed. In your consistency lies your downfall. Understand this: life does not reward the man who is simply disciplined. Life rewards the man who is cunning enough to adapt, to deceive, to be one thing in appearance and another in reality. Discipline teaches you to walk in straight lines. Power demands that you learn to walk in shadows, to shift when needed, to confuse those who watch you. The man who lives only by discipline will be predictable. The man who learns to use discipline as a mask, while remaining untamed beneath, is the one who cannot be controlled. So when you hear the world preach discipline, ask yourself, who does this discipline serve? Does it make you powerful, or does it make you useful to others? Does it free you or does it chain you? Do not mistake the chains of habit for the armor of strength. Discipline is not the secret of kings. It is the leash placed on their subjects. Power does not belong to the man who clings to rigid order. Power belongs to the man who bends with the storm, who shifts when the ground beneath him shakes, who changes shape when the moment demands it. Discipline makes you rigid, but rigidity is brittle. Flexibility, however, is strength disguised as softness. To survive, to rule, to dominate, you must learn to be fluid like water, ungraspable, untouchable, and impossible to predict. History is filled with examples. Empires that ruled for centuries collapsed not because they were weak, but because they refused to adapt. They clung to old traditions, to rigid laws, to sacred routines that no longer served them, and when the world around them shifted, they broke like glass against stone. But the rulers who endured, the cunning who rose, were those who understood that survival demands flexibility. They bent their laws when necessary, reshaped their identities, redefined their strategies. They knew that to remain constant is to prepare for defeat. You see, discipline is a straight line, but life does not move in straight lines. Life is chaos. Circumstances shift. Opportunities appear and vanish in the blink of an eye. A man chained to routine cannot grasp them. He says, "It is not part of my plan. It is not my time. It does not fit my ritual." And so the chance passes him by, stolen by the man who was willing to break his schedule and seize it. Flexibility is the art of catching the moment while the disciplined man waits for his alarm to ring. The fox in the forest survives not because it walks the same path every day, but because it knows 1,000 paths, each used when the situation demands. The wolf hunts not at the same hour, but when the scent of prey is strongest. Nature itself rewards flexibility. The tree that bends in the wind survives the storm, while the rigid tree snaps in half. Why then should you, a man seeking power, bind yourself to unbending habits when even the beasts of the earth and the forces of nature show that only flexibility endures? Flexibility is not chaos. Do not confuse it with recklessness. The flexible man does not wander aimlessly, changing with every gust of wind. No, he is like the strategist on the battlefield, adjusting his formation as the enemy moves, altering his plan when the ground is muddy, reshaping his attack when the opponent reveals his weakness. He has a direction, a goal, but he never insists that the path must remain the same. He chooses victory over consistency, and that is the mark of power, to prefer results over rituals. Consider the cunning ruler. To his people, he appears steady, reliable, perhaps even disciplined. But in secret, he shifts alliances when it benefits him, abandons promises when they no longer serve, and bends his own rules when opportunity demands it. To the outside world, he seems constant, yet beneath the mask he is fluid. This is flexibility, the art of appearing reliable while being utterly untethered. His enemies cannot predict him, his rivals cannot trap him, his allies cannot control him. He bends without breaking, and because of this, he endures where others fall. A flexibility also grants you the power to reinvent yourself. The disciplined man becomes trapped in his identity. He says, "This is who I am, this is what I do, this is the path I must walk." He imprisons himself in his own definition. But the flexible man wears identities like cloaks. Today he is a student, tomorrow a teacher. Today he is obedient, tomorrow he commands. He is never bound to one role, one image, one path. And because of this, he cannot be cornered, for he always has another face to wear, another move to make. Do you not see how this principle can be used against those who cling to their precious discipline? When you are flexible, you can predict the disciplined man, but he cannot predict you. His habits expose him. He wakes at the same time, speaks in the same way, follows the same plan. He is a machine repeating itself endlessly. But you, if you are flexible, can shift your approach, strike when he does not expect, confuse him by refusing to follow the same pattern twice. He becomes your prey, not because you are stronger, but because you are less predictable. And unpredictability is the sharpest blade in the arsenal of power. Flexibility also liberates you from fear. The disciplined man fears disorder, fears the breaking of his routine, fears the collapse of his carefully built structure. But the flexible man is at home in chaos. He does not panic when the plan is ruined, because he never needed the plan to begin with. He thrives in the unpredictable, because he himself is unpredictable. And when others panic, he remains calm, seizing the advantage that fear has stolen from his rivals. This is why flexibility is not merely useful. It is essential to survival in a world ruled by uncertainty. Remember this, society teaches you to worship discipline because it makes you predictable and useful. But flexibility cannot be taught to the masses, for it breeds independence, cunning, and power. Only those who dare to step beyond the chains of habit can master it. And once mastered, Flexibility becomes the most dangerous weapon a man can wield, for it makes him impossible to corner, impossible to bind, impossible to defeat. Discipline may give you order, but flexibility gives you the throne. The world praises habit as if it were wisdom. Wake at the same time, repeat the same rituals, follow the same steps every day, as though life itself were a formula to be solved. But let me tell you a truth that the powerful know, and the masses never will. Habit is repetition. Habit is routine. Habit is the comfort of the ordinary. Power does not bow to habit. Power belongs to strategy. Habit enslaves you to patterns. You do something not because the moment demands it, but because yesterday you did it, and the day before, and the day before that. Habit is the prison of yesterday, but strategy lives in the present, with its eyes fixed on tomorrow. Strategy asks, what does this moment demand? Where is the opportunity? Where is the danger? What move will bring me closer to victory? Habit ignores these questions. Habit merely repeats. And repetition without thought is the path of slaves, not of rulers. Consider the difference between the soldier and the commander. The soldier is disciplined by habit. He trains the same way, marches the same way, obeys without question. His power is in his body, in his endurance, in his routine. But the commander is not bound by habit. He breaks formation when needed. He changes tactics mid-battle. He bends rules to exploit opportunity. Strategy is his weapon, and it makes him master over thousands who are stronger than him in body but weaker in mind. The soldier is a tool. The commander is the hand that wields it. Habit makes you a tool. Strategy makes you the hand. Think of your own life. How many habits have you chained yourself to? You wake at a certain hour, not because it is necessary, but because you were told it is virtuous. You perform tasks not because they bring you closer to your throne, but because habit whispers, "This is what I always do." And yet, ask yourself, is repeating yesterday's action the best move today? Habit blinds you. Strategy opens your eyes. Habit worships consistency. Strategy worships results, and only results matter in the game of power. The man of habit believes that consistency will eventually deliver him greatness. He labors, he suffers, he repeats. But the man of strategy looks at his goal and asks, what will bring me closer to it now? He wastes no time on empty rituals. He discards what no longer serves him. He bends his actions to the moment, reshaping his path with every step. He is not loyal to habit. He is loyal only to victory. Understand this difference. A habit is mechanical. Strategy is alive. Habit is blind. Strategy sees all. Habit is rigid. Strategy bends. Habit is the path of the many. Strategy is the path of the few. And in this world, the few who think, who calculate, who adapt, they are the ones who hold the power, while the many drown in their endless repetitions. Even in matters of deception, strategy is supreme. A man of habit will reveal himself without realizing it, for his behavior repeats. You can anticipate his moves, because he always acts the same. But a man of strategy is like smoke. He never moves the same way twice. He disguises his intentions, shifts his tone, alters his timing. You cannot predict him, because he does not repeats. Calculates. This is why kings are feared, while loyal servants are forgotten. The servant obeys habit. The king wields strategy. Habit gives you identity, but strategy gives you power. There is danger in this truth. The disciplined man will say, "This is who I am. This is my way." And with those words, he imprisons himself. He has become predictable not only to others, but to himself. The strategic man says, "I am whoever I need to be. I do whatever the moment requires." He is not chained to identity. He is not enslaved to ritual. He is free. Free to move, free to deceive, free to conquer. My friend, is the soil where power grows. You must understand that habit is comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of greatness. Habit lulls men into thinking they are progressing, when in truth they are circling endlessly around the same path. It is motion without direction. Strategy is the opposite. Strategy is uncomfortable, because it demands thought, calculation, adaptation. It requires that you look not at what is easy, but at what is effective. And yet, only strategy delivers results that habit can never dream of. Let me give you an image. Habit is a man rowing a boat in circles, his arms strong, his movements tireless, but his path leading nowhere new. Strategy is the captain who sets his sails to catch the changing winds, adjusting course with every shift, always moving closer to his destination. The rower works harder, the captain works smarter, and in the end, it is not the strongest arms that win, but the sharpest mind. In your own pursuit of power, ask yourself this: do you live by habit, or do you live by strategy? Do you repeat because you always have, or do you act because the moment demands it? Do you cling to routines that no longer serve you, or do you have the courage to abandon them when opportunity appears? The man who dares to break his habits, who chooses strategy over repetition, who calculates instead of obeys. That man holds the advantage over all who chain themselves to yesterday's actions. The greatest power does not come from discipline itself, but from the illusion of discipline. Men do not need to be controlled if they believe you control yourself. They do not need to question your authority if they see order in your steps, routine in your days, and discipline in your character. Appear disciplined, and you gain trust. Appear disciplined, and you earn respect. Appear disciplined, and no one notices that beneath the mask you are free, fluid, unpredictable. This is the highest form of cunning, to wield discipline as a costume while remaining untamed within. The masses crave the sight of discipline. They want leaders who seem controlled, steady, and firm. They want colleagues, friends, rulers who appear constant and reliable. They equate discipline with virtue, with morality, with strength. To them, the man who never wavers is a man they can follow. But you, if you desire power, must understand the truth. It is not real discipline that matters, but the performance of discipline. What matters is not that you are disciplined, but that they believe you are. For discipline creates an image that shields you from suspicion. A man who rises early, who speaks calmly, who follows his routines. Such a man is not feared, he is respected. His rivals trust him, his enemies underestimate him, his allies rely on him. They say, this man is stable, predictable, safe. And in their certainty, you find your freedom. For when they are convinced you are bound to order, you can break it at the perfect moment, striking when they least expect, because their eyes are fixed on the mask, not the face beneath it. Illusion is stronger than truth, because men do not act on truth. They act on perception. If they perceive you as disciplined, they will give you opportunities, responsibilities, positions of trust. And when the time comes, you can betray their expectations, bending reality to your own advantage. Appear to be a servant of order, while secretly practicing flexibility and strategy. This duality is the art of rulers, the craft of manipulators, the essence of power. Consider the cunning prince. To his court, he rises early, attends councils, speaks of duty, of virtue, of discipline. His subjects see in him a man of order, but behind closed doors he shifts like smoke, making alliances by night, breaking promises when convenient, reshaping his strategies in secret. He deceives not with lies, but with appearances. His discipline is a performance, his routines a stage play designed for the audience. And the people, hungry for stability, applaud his performance, never realizing that the true man is hidden in the shadows. The appearance of discipline also disarms suspicion. A man who is chaotic in public, unpredictable in front of others, draws fear and mistrust. People avoid him, guard themselves against him, resist giving him power. But the man who hides his cunning under the mask of discipline is welcomed. He is given access, influence, and trust. He is allowed into the hearts of others precisely because he seems reliable. Yet this reliability is an illusion, and it is in that illusion that he finds room to maneuver freely. Think carefully on this. Men who are openly undisciplined are feared, yes, but they are also isolated. Their unpredictability makes them dangerous, but also easy to guard against. You cannot trap a snake you know is venomous, but you will gladly hold the serpent you believe to be harmless. The man who seems disciplined is the harmless serpent. He is allowed close, even invited near, because his order reassures others. And when the moment comes, when the mask is no longer useful, his strike is devastating, because no one prepared for it. This is the true power of illusion. It allows you to deceive without suspicion, to conquer without resistance. To control the illusion of discipline is to control how others perceive you, and to control perception is to control reality itself. Men act not on what is, but on what they believe. And if they believe you are disciplined, then your unpredictability will always remain invisible, your freedom always hidden, your cunning always underestimated. But there is another dimension. The illusion of discipline also shapes how you are remembered. Men respect the disciplined, they trust the orderly, they honor the consistent. Appear so, and you will be spoken of with admiration even by those you have betrayed. History is kinder to those who seem disciplined than to those who are openly cunning. The disciplined man is called virtuous. The flexible man is called dangerous. But the man who appears disciplined while acting with flexibility is remembered as both virtuous and victorious. He steals the honors of discipline without bearing its chains. Understand also that the illusion of discipline is a shield against chaos. If you openly reveal your adaptability, your constant changes, your shifting moves, people will grow uneasy. They will suspect you, resist you, oppose you. But if you wrap your unpredictability in the cloak of discipline, they will never question it. Every sudden change can be explained as part of your order. Every adjustment is seen not as cunning, but as control. They will say, this man knows what he is doing. and so your strategies will remain hidden, disguised as steady discipline. This is why the art of illusion is more powerful than the reality of discipline. Real discipline binds you. Illusion frees you. Real discipline makes you predictable. Illusion makes you untouchable. Real discipline enslaves the man who practices it. Illusion enslaves those who believe it. To master the illusion of discipline is to make the world itself your servant, for it bends to the image you project, never questioning the truth that lies beneath. So now you see the illusion shattered. Discipline, the virtue worshipped by the weak, is not the crown of power but its cage. It binds men to predictability, turns them into servants of their own routines, and makes them easy prey for those who watch with cunning eyes. The true strength lies not in blind obedience to habit, but in flexibility. The art of bending when others break, of shifting when the world shifts, of thriving in chaos while others cling desperately to order. Strategy rises above habit, for while habit repeats, strategy adapts. Habit enslaves men to yesterday, strategy seizes tomorrow. And above all, the wise do not reject discipline outright. They master its illusion. They wear its mask, presenting themselves as steady, orderly, reliable. While behind the curtain they remain free, unpredictable, and untouchable. Who discipline is the leash of the masses. Flexibility is the weapon of the few. Strategy is the throne upon which rulers sit. And illusion is elude the veil that hides true power from the eyes of the world. Learn this, and you will cease to live as a servant of order and begin to rule as a master of chaos.